Justine Isaacs, your alchemist, and this is Cafe Catch Up, where we catch up with your favorite personalities, individuals, and people about their journeys and their stories and more. Let's catch up together. So today we have a very special guest, Kandi King, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Kandi King is a creative entrepreneur. You may know her from Karnival by Kandi, her Karnival concierge service, and she brought us Stocking by Kandi. She's done events, she's been on your TV screen, she's doing amazing, and I'm so excited to catch up with her today. Thank you so much for catching up with me today.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, let's dive into the Kandi, Kandi King, Miss KK, Karnival by Kandi, everything. So like, where did it all come from?
Okay, well, I would say I'm definitely, as people would know, involved in the carnival industry. And that really started from, I had done Kiddies Carnival as a child, jumped Carnival as soon as I was of age to do so in Jamaica, and then I did it every single year, and I just really enjoyed it. And I thought to myself, when I have enough money, when I get my big job, I'm gonna go to Trinidad, because you always hear that Trinidad is the mecca of all the carnivals.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when I got my first corporate job and I had enough money, I made my first trip to Trinidad Carnival. And when I went, I realized that it wasn't easy. And I had a girl in Trinidad who had to help me get my party tickets, get some transportation, get my costume. And I was like, if I never have this girl in Trinidad, what would I do? And how do other people who want to get to Trinidad, what do they do?
Right.
So I started a service called Karnival by Kandi. It was just a carnival concierge service, which just meant that I would help people to get to carnivals throughout the year. I started with Trinidad Carnival. It was only meant to be supplementary income. It really wasn't meant to be a full-on company in itself. I just kind of started it as a side hustle. And to be honest, my job at the time made me redundant, and I just had to make it work. I just was just like, well, I just did this for now.
Right? Like life happens.
Yeah, exactly.
For the best.
Yeah, but lucky for me, people really took to it, and they used the service and they enjoyed it, and they said I gave good service, and they came back the next year, and it just continued to grow in that way. So that was really the genesis of my involvement in the industry, having just loved it, since childhood.
Right. And what do you love most about it?
Oh gosh, there's so many things to love about Karnival and soca, but I think it's just that liberating feeling. I love the road. That's really the part of it for me.
It's the road.
It's the road, and I feel so free.
Yeah.
And Carnival really has that effect on it. It's very almost spiritual.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I have connected to the most, I would say.
So how did Stockings by Kandi come about?
All right, so it's Stocking by Kandi because my last name is King. I know a lot of people don't get it, but
there it is.
Yes, my assistant at the time came up with that name. I just thought it was so brilliant. All right, so I think about 2018, I would have gone to Trinidad Carnival as I do every year.
Mm-hmm.
I
love that. That's the life.
When we see the girl them in them costumes and the big old stocking banner show, it was such an eyesore for me. I did not like it. And I said to my friend, I'm like, why can't I just make the stockings look like this? And then I was like, why can't I just make the stockings look like that? And I literally went into Google. I used Google and I typed in like stocking manufacturers.
Yes.
Yeah, and I started just emailing factories across the world, just trying to figure out who can do this style of stocking for me until somebody responded favorably. There are many things I have done in the carnival industry, even Karnival by Kandi. I started a carnival band here in Jamaica as well.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, Justine, the stockings has been the most profitable thing that I have done. It is, and I tell people all the time, entrepreneurs, find a product.
Yeah.
Find a product. And it almost sounds silly, but it is so profitable. I've been so blessed. I'm so grateful that that idea popped into my head.
Yes.
I also went ahead and put design protection.
Yes. Because nobody else, I didn't even know about the D. Like, that's at every different band.
Yeah. So I went ahead and got a protection for the design.
Smart.
Internationally as well, in Jamaica, in Trinidad. and across the world in various different jurisdictions so that I could protect myself.
Yeah.
Inevitably though, just like somebody said to me, Apple and Nike and all these other people, you will have copiers and people have copied the product. So I have to be picking and choosing my battles because it is very expensive to sue people and to go to court and to, so I have to be very careful with how I go about it and who I decide to target if I do target people when I do.
Wow.
But it's been a journey to get to the point where, as an entrepreneur, something catch, to put, for lack of a better word, something catch, because you try so many different things. Sometimes you try and you fail, or even if it's not a failure publicly, maybe behind the scenes on the money end, it never really work out for you. And so it's really been, there are so many things that I've tried, and I'm so happy to be here to say that that company is doing exceptionally well. Yeah. And it also has fit in so seamlessly with motherhood for me because it is less stress and more money. So whereas, other things involved in the carnival industry, I had to be there, I had to be present, I had to go do something. There was an office, there's a lot of people to deal with, a lot of customer service. There are various endeavors that have required my time and my labor, and this has just been almost like remote work. Like I get to stay home. I just make sure, it's buy and sell. I get my stock. I sell online. The money goes directly to the account. Like those are the things that just make my life so much easier. And I work for myself. I don't have a big staff. Oh God, thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
That'll do it.
Just take me out of all of the stress. But it has really been a blessing. And like I said, my advice always is like find a product. It's been so life-changing for me. I mean, you can sell on Amazon. You can sell it on your own site. There are so many things. You don't have to invent something new. I mean, I did, but there are lots of things you guys can just. You guys said the V. You can, but you can just buy and sell something. It's not that hard. It's not. You'd be surprised what little things you can find and sell back on Amazon. And Amazon is available for Jamaicans as well.
So motherhood.
Oh gosh, let me take a sip of the coffee because to start the conversation.
Sips coffee. No, but I just met Coco. She's amazing.
Yes.
She's so beautiful, and she's such a light.
Chorus is the type of child that make you want another one, and I'm not gonna be fooled.
Are we gonna have another baby? Are you talking baby here?
We will see. Not now though.
Okay.
But motherhood was very interesting for me because it happened in the pandemic. Nothing never did I go on. So it was very lonely.
Nothing did I go on, but something did I go on.
Yeah, something went on. Of course, but it was very lonely, in the pandemic because it was a part of the pandemic where we couldn't see each other and the curfew was 7 o'clock and
spicy.
You remember that part? Just never nice.
How was that experience?
For sure, it felt very lonely and like you don't have your village, and that is so important, when you have a baby. And I'm a new mom too, so like I want the help and I felt so distant from everybody. But at the same time, it gave me the space to really pour into her and to really, because I didn't have no work, I never have nothing. I was just a mom.
Scary.
Yeah, it was very scary, but that's all I was. Yeah, and I just had to, as we all do, learn on the go. And it was just me and Jessie and her, and I had all of that time to really pour into her, and I'm seeing the product of that now. I'm seeing that, okay, I spent all this time at home talking to her, playing with her, reading to her. Not saying I would not have done those things if the pandemic wasn't here, but I think, you're busy, life is happening, and so you don't do it probably as much as you would want. So, and so it was just a blessing to be there with her as a constant throughout the entire, at least first year and a half of her life, And
I also spoke to you about my grandma passed in the pandemic, and then your grandma passed as well.
Yes, so we have had to deal with death in the pandemic as well. And that was another thing, like there was birth, but there was death.
Right? It's like a weird...
It was just such a weird time.
Yin and yang.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, honestly, good riddance to that pandemic. Because
I mean, it taught us a lot.
It definitely did.
But at the same time, it was hard.
It was difficult,
But now we're here. And how has a mother changed you overall?
Oh gosh, there are so many ways that motherhood has changed me. But motherhood humbles you, girl. That humbles you so fast. Your priorities change. Your relationships change. And I think that for me has been the most humbling experience, because in terms of your priorities, like, my thoughts aren't even my own anymore. Like, everything I'm thinking of now is for her. And so you also had to realize, like, in thinking about her, at some point I came to the realization, like, wait, no, what about me? I need to prioritize myself sometimes. And so self-care and mental health comes into the picture. It just turns your whole life upside down, but you realize, like, what gives you fulfillment and what really matters in life. And so that shift in perspective is probably one of the greatest benefits of motherhood, I would say.
And you guys are such a tribe, like, you just feel it.
Yeah,
like,
we
the
are.
Support, the
I have
family.
such an amazing partner. Oh my God.
And it's very rare.
He gives me such good balance. I'm getting goosebumps talking about him. But he is just really like my other half in every sense of that statement, and balances me out and gives me such good support, and can see when I'm having a bad day to pick up, you know, on the other end, to be like, all right, I can see that you're a little off today. Let me help to do more. You know, oh God, it's just been, he's also just one of my biggest blessings.
So of course, in entertainment, there are also challenges that you can be faced with. In the business, I know that something happened. So tell me about that.
Well, I mean, I will only say that sometimes, like I said, as an entrepreneur, things don't work out, and you have to pivot, you have to adjust, you have to find something new, you have to reinvent yourself. And I have had to do that quite a few times on my journey. And I have, one of the things that I wanted to do for myself, and one of the visions that I had, in addition to being, the Karnival girl, and I'm doing all these things in the Karnival industry, was to also stay in the entertainment space and have events. And there are very few female promoters.
Right?
Little to none. Girl, I don't know, because we're better at it. Let's be real. We are actually better at it. And Tad for a party and not even mirroring at the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I really just wanted to create events for girls, and to really show young girls that, like, we can do it too. It's not just male promoters. And I will say I have felt the full brunt of being a female in the space. What? Them ripped to shreds. They have ripped me to shreds on more than one occasion, but it just goes to show that you have to work twice as hard to show up in the same space as a man.
You're representing, though.
It's so unfair.
I'm so grateful that you have. Yes.
So I've done quite a few events now, well, namely Babe Brunch and Cooler Babe, that have gone off so well with the public and with my audience, really, because, you know, I'm targeting who I'm targeting, and it has gone over well with them, and I'm again grateful for that. But it has been a transition into that space as well, because there was a previous life that I had where I would put on events, but I wasn't really, even though my name is on it, I wasn't as involved, and I left it to the guys to do it. And you want me to post a flyer? Yeah, I post a flyer. But now I'm doing it, and I wanted to really have an impact in that way. You know, like details, like give the girls some good backdrops and
something more than just the same music playing.
Right, you know, like but it's the truth, and that's one of the things that I even told the DJs, like, oh, give us something where the girls were live, like an NSYNC, little Backstreet Boys, like that kind of themed events. Oh my God, we love themed events. Even like I said, down to the bathrooms, like give us the feminine hygiene products in the bathroom, because you never know, like those are things. Welcoming. So I made it a point of duty to go out and create that space, and it's something that I still do. And I'm not afraid of entrepreneurship anymore, because if I don't see it, I'm unafraid to just create it. And that has come with practice. I was not always like that. I was very timid in the beginning and fearful, and honestly, because what do you mean?
I think you started out as
girl, but when you start something, you don't make no money in the nice. It's not nice. No, it is absolutely not nice.
Didn't know it. We wouldn't have known.
That's why I said, you know, like sometimes things are not public, but you start something and it don't go well, and you're like, Jano. And you put it all into it.
Propelling you into the direction.
Yes, and you know, God never lead me astray yet. So even if I started an endeavor and it didn't go well and I was in debt, I was able to work, whether it's stockings, whether it's Karnival by Kandi, and find it, pay the people them little, whatever it is, to get back to the point where I'm okay. It's never been that bad. I mean, if I'm also being honest, it's not like me I start a big multi-million, you know, I always start small, and you know, so if it's a little bit of debt, it was always something that was manageable, thank God. And I was very careful to not put myself into any deep debt as well. I had to be careful. A lot of the businesses that I started were not capital intensive, meaning I never had to go find $100 million, $1 trillion to do it. When I did Karnival by Kandi, you paid me your money and I used your money and paid for the things and then put on a fee on it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I had to use my money when I first started.
So strap everything.
Right. As I started to grow, I was like, okay, well, let me book 10 hotel room and then, you know, like as I grew.
So you're smart with the finances.
Right. So I've been trying to be very careful in that way to not put myself in any grave position, and even though, like I said, some things have not worked out, I have managed to still climb out of the hole. So I'm happy for that as well. But yeah, that's really the journey.
Wow, you just speak like a true solid entrepreneur, like a businesswoman.
You can't look like the struggle girl. You can't talk like the struggle either.
So final thing, for other boss babes coming up, what is like your number one tip and advice for them then, and also to get out of the fair? To be a creative entrepreneur.
Wow, I don't even know what to really say other than you have to have really thick skin. And me not say me have thick skin because the amount of times, I know maybe it appears that way, but I will tell you the amount of times me cry, me break down and just say, hold me up and I say, yo, you can't make them people, you get together, you can't make people. But it's just so hard sometimes because as much as we're like, we don't care what people say, we do. We absolutely want people to say nice things about us and to like us and like our work and enjoy things that we do or the fruits of our labor or whatever it is that we do care. We 100% care. And when it is that whether it's the internet or people in whatever way have negative things to say, it affects us. And me not like it. And so I cry. So I mean, it's just one of those things. Nothing wrong with crying, but just, you know, you have to have, I wouldn't even say thick skin. You can have thin skin, but just pick up and go again. Pick up and go again. Be resilient. I think that's really it. Like, don't let nothing don't let any opportunity make you give up. Right. You just have to stand back up and go again. And that's really the mantra of my life. Like the pandemic, Justine, like, pulled the rug from under me. Entertainment was gone. No name stockings, no name party, no name Karnival. There was everything. And so there's another tip: don't have all your eggs in one basket. Because after the pandemic, I was like, okay, need to sort out some other things, you know.
Have some different portfolios.
Because I always used to say, even to my parents when I started, Mr. Karnival not gonna wear. Well, jokes on me. It went somewhere. Right. I was like, there's always gonna be Karnival. And Karnival, people are like, isn't it seasonal in Jamaica? After
Karnival all over,
all year round.
I didn't even realize that until I was looking at it the other day. I'm like, whoa,
a Karnival calendar.
Karnival, Karnival too.
There is just, it's all, every month there's something. You can be sustained in a niche industry if you can figure out how to make it work. And I think I've done that pretty well for this industry. Again, so grateful for that. But yeah, be resilient and don't have all your eggs in one basket. You guys have to find ways to diversify these days, and that's advice I think I've been hearing since being a child, but we did have to learn the hard way. Because I did just have to learn the hard way. So that's just what happened to me, and yeah, we're on the bounce back now, and things are going so well, and chorus is amazing, and life is good, and we're on the up and up. I'm gonna have no stress. Oh my God, I'm in my soft girl era. Soft girl era. Yes, I love this for me, but it really feels like it has all just come full circle. There was so much struggle, and there was so many things. And honestly, in our life, you always gonna have new problems, like, you know. But I'm definitely happy for where I am now.
And I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, Justine.
Thank you for catching up with me today.
Of course. Anytime. Cheers.
Thank you so much for watching today. Please subscribe, like, and comment what do you guys want us to talk about next. Who do you guys want us to talk to next? And remember, adversity is an opportunity.